My name is Lena. I am 17 years old, and I have a pretty ordinary life. Or at least, I thought I did. Until that day. It all started when I found an old mirror in my grandmother's attic. The mirror was different from others. Its frame was decorated with strange symbols, and its reflection was odd. I could see myself, but there seemed to be a shadow behind me. At first, I thought it was just a play of light, but as I looked into the mirror every day, the shadow became more and more distinct. One night, I heard a whisper coming from the mirror in my dream. "Find me." When I woke up, my heart was racing. There was a feeling inside me telling me that the mirror was not just an ordinary object. The next day, I stood in front of the mirror again, and the moment I touched it, an electric current ran through my body. I closed my eyes, then opened them again, and suddenly, I was no longer in my room. I found myself in a foggy, cold forest. The sky was a deep shade of purple, and strange whispers floated in the air. When I turned around, I saw the mirror a few steps behind me. I wanted to turn back, but something stopped me. "You're not going to give up so quickly, are you?" I felt someone watching me. My heart raced as a tall figure in a cloak appeared in front of me. Its face was lost in shadows. "Who are you?" I asked in a trembling voice. The figure smiled faintly. "You found me, Lena." A chill ran down my spine. I recognized its voice. It was the same one that had whispered to me in my dream. The figure was a being trapped inside the mirror for years, and now it needed my help to break free. But there was a problem. If I helped it, I could end up trapped inside the mirror too. What should I do? Should I set it free, or go back and pretend nothing ever happened? The most interesting part was, it said it could explain who I truly was and why the mirror had chosen me. The decision was mine. I stood in front of the mirror. My reflection looked like me, but I wasn't sure anymore. The words of the cloaked figure echoed in my ears. "You belong here." I took a step forward. The mirror rippled and shuddered like a surface of water. Then, I passed through. It felt like my body was floating in the air. A dark void pulled me in, and I closed my eyes. Then suddenly, I felt a stone floor beneath my feet. When I opened my eyes, the sight took my breath away. This place was the castle, but it was in ruins. The once magnificent stone walls were covered in moss. A massive chandelier had fallen, and the windows were shattered. Yet this place didn't feel unfamiliar. Suddenly, I had a strange sensation. It was like I remembered this place step by step. I knew I had to go up the stairs. My feet led me to the door of a room. I opened the door. Inside, there was a table with an open diary on it. With trembling hands, I turned the pages, and my eyes froze on the first name, Lena von Eldoria. My blood ran cold. That was my name. But why was my last name different? I began reading the diary. "I am Lena von Eldoria. If you find this letter, know that I had to erase my memory, because there were those after me. But it's not over. The power sealed with me will awaken again one day, and you, meaning I, must remember my fate." The air in the room grew cold. I held the diary tighter. "Who am I?" I whispered. The sound of footsteps behind me sent shivers down my spine. "You're about to find out," a voice said. I slowly turned around, and the person I saw was me. The figure standing in front of me was me. But her eyes were different from mine, black as the void, endless and empty. She took a step forward, and I stepped back. "What are you?" I whispered. She smiled. But this smile wasn't warm, it was unsettling. "I am the part of you've forgotten, Lena." Suddenly, memories exploded in my mind. The castle, the cloaked figure, the sealed power. It was all my choice. Once, I was the princess of this castle. But there was more to me than just a common human. As the last heir of the Eldoria kingdom, I possessed a forbidden power. I was the only one capable of balancing light and darkness. But one day, to prevent this power from falling into the wrong hands, I erased my own memory. I ran from my past. Now, my past was calling me back. The shadow welcoming me reached out its hand. Make your choice. Either you leave here without remembering your past, or you claim your true heritage and face your destiny. I closed my eyes. Who was I? A moment later, I opened my eyes. I wasn't afraid anymore. I felt warmth inside me. When I raised my hands, golden light spread. The shadow stepped back. "I am Lena von Eldoria," I shouted. And in that instant, everything changed. The castle came back to life. The broken walls regained their former glory. Candles lit themselves. The shadow slowly faded, trapped somewhere deep inside me. I wasn't afraid anymore, because I had accepted my destiny. And this was the beginning of my story. The moment I realized everything, golden light enveloped my body, blinding my eyes. The castle trembled, walls cracked. The shadow let out a scream and rushed toward me, merging with my body. In an instant, the entire world spun. The ground slipped from beneath me. I was floating in the void. Then, I opened my eyes. I recognized the crack in the ceiling. It was the ceiling of my room. A thin blanket lay on top of me. My heart raced, and my forehead was covered in sweat. Was it a dream? I whispered, but my hand was still trembling. Next to my pillow lay the old diary. With shaking fingers, I opened the cover. "I am Lena von Eldoria." The sentence was written in my own handwriting in the middle of the page. My throat went dry. Was it a dream? Or maybe it wasn't. One thing I was sure of. This was just the beginning. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications.